Welcome back. Okay, so
Hello.
Christine Elise, who we all know and love. Let me see if she is still on with us. You there?
I am.
She is. It worked. Okay. Hi, Christine.
Success.
Hi.
Let's see if I can make you a little bit louder. I think I can. I am a recording engineer, for fuck's sake.
I have super shitty reception in my house. As you probably know, my house is fucked up for reception.
That's all right. We hear you good.
Okay.
So how you doing tonight?
I'm all right. I'm recovering from a little bit of a cold myself, but I'm not nearly as sick as you seem to be.
Yeah. Oh,
There's that.
it sucked. This has sucked. Not tonight. I'm feeling a little bit. I'm definitely feeling better than I was last night because that was like I was on death's door. But feeling my head right now. I'm probably a good 101. I don't know.
You master temperature taker.
Christine, this is Joe Davison who's
Hello.
with us. You guys haven't met yet,
Hey, Joe.
but you will at some point. You
Hello.
probably saw him in Stranger
Hello.
Things too, which was a really great little role that he got for himself.
Thank you, sir.
Cool.
So, Christine, we go back till when I was 8 years old. We worked together when I was a kid,
Yeah.
which is just fucking amazing. And the fact I said earlier, I think that you and I are closer now than Andy and Kyle ever were.
Oh, that's absolutely true.
We've gotten really...
Although that may not prove to be true if the characters are revisited and we get to see what their relationship has been for 30 years.
That's
that
true.
may not be true.
That's
But
true.
Right now, it appears to be true.
Yeah, they could go anywhere, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, what she's referring to is, Child's Play. After Cult of Chucky, Christine made a great reprisal of her role. Much like I did in Curse, she's had an after the credits unrated version only scene, which was so dumb for both of us that it wasn't on Netflix.
Yeah.
It was very unfortunate. But the unrated only, she has a great...
Go ahead.
They didn't
Sorry.
add that scene on Netflix?
No, on the Netflix version, it's not the unrated version. So
What?
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. But my scene is not in Curse, and her scene is not in Cult. But I guess if that's some good motivation for you to go out and buy the DVD, but
That's true.
or unfortunately just watch it on YouTube, I guess. But she had a great scene that we filmed in Winnipeg, 40 degrees below zero at 3:30 in the morning. I stayed up with her. Christine, you got to watch me burn Chucky's face with the torch from
I did.
2 feet behind me.
Smoke a joint with them.
You watched me smoke a joint with him, which was great. And I wanted nothing more than to watch your scene, but I fell asleep in Andy's bed up in the loft at 3:30 in the morning, getting paid time and a half. I was asleep for 2 hours. So I missed it. But thank God they filmed that.
Yeah,
you know?
I got like 4 takes or 3, and it happened fast, so it almost didn't happen at all.
Yeah,
I'm grateful that it
yeah, it was close. I'm really glad it did, though, because first of all, the fans were thrilled about it, and it does lead into where our characters might go next in the television series, or whatever kind of series you want to call it.
Is it streaming?
Well, there's going to be an announcement pretty soon on where this show is going to be.
You excited?
I am, yeah. I think it's really fun. I love the idea of 8 to 10 hours of Chucky coming up.
Yeah. I
It
feel
gives us a lot of opportunity. I think Cult really left things open to go a lot of different directions.
I feel a workout montage coming.
Yeah, for me?
Yeah.
You mean? Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. I want to get like Mac from
Yeah.
It's Always Sunny. I'm going to starve myself for 7 months and work out incessantly.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I am. I'm going to try. I'm going to do my best.
I love Mac.
He could... if my show lasts that long, will guide my progress.
We should do it.
It make me
anyways.
feel bad
Fuck
about it every
Start
week that
now.
I'm not doing it.
Someone get a newspaper. I'm gonna take a picture of him.
Yeah. But Christine, taking it back to the beginning, what are your first memories of being on set of Child's Play 2 and meeting me and all that? Do you remember it well at all?
I don't remember meeting you. I remember working with you a lot. I remember you were a little boy. Like you were a little boy and you were easy to love. And I'm not like an insensitive coos. I like a little kid. And and you were fun to be you were fun to be a big sister to. And so that's really what I remember is just being a big sister to you, like, kind of in real life and on screen.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot, really. It's Don. I had dinner with Don Mancini, who wrote them all recently, and he was talking about a table read that happened before we began shooting on that second one. You'd think I'd remember a table read. I'm sitting at a table with everybody in the movie, including Brad Dourif, and I have no memory of that table read.
Yeah,
I
don't
know
either.
if I was just... You were a baby, though. You
I know, but I remember a lot of things.
I was totally starstruck by... I was totally starstruck by Brad. Maybe Brad wasn't even there. That's why I wasn't so caught up. But my reflection on that period is I can't believe how in stride... Two things I did. I took it wildly in stride, like, this is where I'm supposed to be, and, like, I'm not going to take any photographs. I'm not going to, immortalize any of these moments. I wasn't uncomfortable or awkward or afraid or intimidated. And at the same time, I was wildly excited to be there. It was my first big job. It was a big studio movie. It was on the Universal lot. It's the birthplace of all of the monsters anyone's ever heard of through all of history. The big early monsters. So I was very aware of that. The huge picture, but not so aware of the smaller picture of the day-to-day of it. Just totally being excited to be there.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Well, I thought...
And when I see footage of it that you have and that Don has, I can't believe how casual I am in between takes and doing things.
Oh, you were cracking up. Every time that they said cut, after you were just doing something absurd with this doll in your hands, you just burst into laughter every time. This was the first film that you worked on, or?
It's the first big... I did a tiny, couple days on a Sam Shepard, Barbara Hershey film. I think it worked 1 or 2 days on it, and this is a job. This is weeks of work. It's my first job that went on for more than 3 weeks.
What do you remember about the audition?
I remember not getting it. I remember wearing little flowery bicycle shorts and an oversized shirt, probably my engineer boots, and not getting the job. And then I went away. I did an episode of 21 Jump Street, and I came home from that. And the day I came home, I booked an episode of season 1 of the original Baywatch. And while I was doing Baywatch, they're like, hey, they haven't found the girl in the Child's Play movie, and they're going to go back and look at the girls they thought were near misses the first time around. I'm like, all right, that's great, okay. And so I went back in. I'm pretty sure I wore that leather biker cap because I just wore it on a lot of auditions and in a lot of my jobs. It's in 21 Jump Street, it's in Chucky, it's in 90210, it's in a lot of stuff. But I had to go. I had to go in early because I had to be on set in Santa Monica or Venice or whatever, or Malibu, whatever we were shooting Baywatch. I had to be there at 10, so I had to do this appointment and get out of there. And I feel like no actor is more empowered than when they're already working. And I had just gotten my first string in a row of a couple of jobs that I was feeling very sort of powerful, even though it was just dumb guest stars. But that is not empowering in any real way. I just was really feeling empowered. I had somewhere to be. And I was like, let's get the show on the road. Let's do this thing. So I had somewhere to be. And I kind of feel like my attitude, I don't know. You should actually ask Dawn or John Lucia what their, why I got the job. But my guesstimation is that I just had a lot more attitude the second time through because I wasn't feeling as desperate.
Yeah, and that attitude was really crucial for Kyle. She had a huge chip on her shoulder, and you pulled that off great. And with the leather hat and everything,
that's me.
And the jeans, it is
That's
you.
me.
I mean, you are feisty
That's
in that same way.
me.
Absolutely, you, 100%. And my memory from an 8-year-old at that time. I mean, what I remember is just thinking you were the coolest. I thought it was super cool that you were, an actor and doing this, and you had that great vibe. You and Don Mancini, I both just thought were the coolest.
Well, because we fucking are.
Well, you are, and now 30 years later, you're both two of the coolest people that I know. Without a doubt. So, it was such a thrill for me to work with you on that movie, and I really hope that we have some scenes together in the future. I hope that we do. I think it'll be a blast to work together.
I can't imagine how they cannot. How it was left, when your cameo at the end of Curse has a picture of me in the background.
Yeah.
I
sent you to my house to go torture the doll too.
And then you sent me to your house, and there's more pictures on the counter there too. And I say Andy sent me, which means we're in touch. We're like, we've stayed friends. So I don't know who's going to get you out of the asylum. I don't know if somebody has to get you out of that asylum, and I'm kind of the only living person that knows where you went, presumably,
Yeah.
you know, and might come looking for you. I don't.
Well, you know,
any idea
one
what
thing,
stories
one
are gonna
thing with,
happen, but
yeah, one thing with Don, which I definitely give him credit for, is that you never know where the fuck he's going to go with any of this stuff.
Right.
And as much as some people love that, other people have complaints because he can't please anybody, he can't please everybody.
Right.
He takes things in all crazy ways. So who knows what we're in for next? But we're both.
I just don't know how they can avoid that you and I have a relationship.
No, I
know?
think you're right. I think absolutely. And hopefully we get to do some real fun stuff together and kill some Chucky dolls together.
Exactly.
So after
Chuckies.
now, how long between rapping on Child's Play 2 did you book 90210, which is arguably the other thing that you know everybody loves you for and that they know you for the best? How long was it in between? 2 years?
Mm-hmm. Which at the time is like, it felt like 20 years, you know?
Yeah.
Looking back, I can't believe how close they were together, but in my life, it felt eternity apart.
Yeah. Well, I remember when it was airing, you know, I was 10, 11 years old, but it was so popular. The show was so fucking huge that you couldn't avoid it. And I was so happy for you that you had that role because, again, you were this badass girl just like, you know, doing things on TV that other people aren't doing and making your own way and being you, again, in these characters, which, you know, it's awesome that the two of the biggest characters of your career were so close to you as a person, you know? Like, you're just a badass. So whenever you're a badass, it plays off so well, you know? Yeah. You bring that badassery to everything that you do.
I always wanted to go to the Peach Pit.
The Peach Pit, huh? Yeah.
That's not badass, though. The Peach Pit is not badass. And least of all, the Peach Pit After Dark. That's hilarious to me. To name the nightclub after the fucking hamburger stand. That's funny.
And you were your character really was the reverse Me Too. I mean, you're one of the few people that ever date raped a man on TV. You know, when else has that happened?
I guess I hadn't ever thought of it that way.
No, it's an interesting thing that you got to do. Yeah, not that many get to do.
Wow,
that.
It's a very dark take on what I did.
Yeah,
it
good
is.
job for
it is,
raping.
But, yeah. Now you were already dating Jason in real life at that point, weren't you?
No.
No, it wasn't until after. Had you already rapped on 90210 when you and him began to date?
I hadn't rapped, but I was there for like 6 months.
Oh, okay.
So, but when we were shooting those things, I was still not. We weren't together.
You guys were just. Was there a vibe right off the bat?
Friends, actually.
Was there like a vibe right off the bat with you two?
There's a vibe only because he's really smart and really funny.
Yeah, I met him. I met him. He's charming as hell. He really is. He's
21.
really a nice guy.
Yeah, he was 21 years old when I met him. He's going to be 50 this year. You know, so I've known him his entire adult life, basically. And he is really smart and really funny, and more importantly, as far as like vibing with me, has the same taste in music and movies that I do.
Yeah.
He wasn't much of a reader, but he was a movie and book person. Movie and music person, and we had a lot of overlap. And for interior design, he had just begun to collect vintage deco stuff, which I already was doing. So we had a really lot in common. That's my, you know, the two boyfriends of my life that really matter are Jason and the man I was with before him. His name is Jamie. And in both cases, I was really close friends with them both for a long time before we became a couple. I have a thing where I have to actually really like you before I find you even remotely appealing or attractive. So, because I'm afraid, you know, Trump voters come in pretty packages, you know.
Yeah.
So my whole life has been I can acknowledge that you look pretty on the outside, but until you open your mouth, I don't find you attractive. I have to find out what's going to spill out of your fucking mouth. You know.
Yeah. Well, like as one of your closest friends, I also know you are very picky. You know, you really do have it set with what you want, I guess, because I don't know. I don't feel like anyone ever has a chance with you.
They don't.
I know they don't. They don't.
I mean, I'm willing to go years and years and years without having sex. So
yeah.
Once that's a reality, which has always been for my entire adult life. That's not been a motivating factor ever. And for whatever, just leave it at that.
I guess so. Once you take that out of the equation, once you take that out of the equation, it's pretty easy to not want to spend time with other people. I could see that entirely.
Yeah, I'd rather not have
put
sex
up with the
for
bullshit.
4 years.
Yeah.
I'd rather not have sex for 4 years, and I've done that more than once in my life, than fuck a Trump voter or the equivalent further back in time. You know.
So, speaking about Trump, so Christine is as adamant of despising this man as I am, if not more. And
more.
When you talk about division, I know you have a very limited tolerance for the other side, because you do see that there's really only one way to look at this, and the fact that he's a vile person, and anyone who sees it otherwise is,
there are. I'm not totally hardline. Like I don't have like a wall up where I don't hear words or I'm unable to process what's going on with him because I hate.
Yeah.
The fact is, I know why he was elected. I understand that, in fact, the middle class, the working class, more significantly, the working class of this country has been totally sold out since Reagan.
Yeah.
Completely sold out. Manufacturing is all. It used to be before Reagan that you could drop out of high school and get a manufacturing job or some sort of low skill labor job, and get health care and be able to support your wife and kids without your wife having to work. That was true until like the 80s.
Right.
And then all manufacturing goes away. So now now you can even get out of college and you can't get a job at the Gap. So it's really shifted wildly to the other direction where you can come out of school with an 8-year degree and not be able to get a job for minimum wage.
Right.
So I get why people are mad. And they're right to be mad.
Yeah, and I also get why some people didn't trust Hillary and didn't like her or didn't find her likable. I also get...
I don't like her. I voted for her. I don't like her. I mean,
she's a Republican, there's many ways that she is not likable, of course. And I can understand even those that were like, fuck it, it'll be fun. It'll be entertaining. Let's take a chance. The chaos theory in that sense. Like,
no, I don't respect that at all.
I don't know that I'm not saying I respect it. I'm not saying I respect it. I'm saying I could understand why people think that way and they would do that.
I get it.
But I think my issue, what it comes to now, is when there are such blatant examples. And, he was very successful in the sense to get people to not believe the truth and not face facts and not believe facts as reality. And when you discredit...
You're giving him too much credit.
90% of information.
You're not including the fact that there was a gigantic Russian bot campaign on all social media promoting anti-Hillary stuff. And
I know it 100%.
Literally being divisive on purpose. Like being as divisive as possible.
There are powers that be out there that are purposely dividing this country. That is the goal, is to get us divided and fighting amongst ourselves and unfriending our friends and not talking to our families and taking every issue, everything that comes up, every new Gillette commercial to the MAGA hat kids, and every new issue has to be, we are assigned a side that we fall into. There's a river in between us, and we're just standing on opposite ends shouting at each other.
I heard I listened to your entire conversation about this before I got on with you.
Yep, and you've heard me talk about it in the past.
And you've heard me talk about it in the past.
Sure.
But I think you are being more, reducing it down to a more simplistic truth or version than is actually the truth. First of all, I want to read you this Isaac Asimov quote, which I think is really critical as to why I can only argue for why the left wing is feeling so divided and so unwilling to have a conversation. And here's the quote. There's a cult of ignorance in the United States, and there always has been. The strain of anti-intellectualism has been a constant thread winding its way through our political and cultural life, nurtured by the false notion that democracy means my ignorance is just as good as your knowledge.
Wow.
So, and that's the problem. That is the world that Fox News fosters. It fills its viewers up with primarily false truths.
Absolutely.
They really are the major source of fake news on Earth. And where Fox News not allowed to call themselves news and just be like a Dr. Phil show with his commentary, but not being presented as news, they would be less powerful. This country is divided because Fox News was created by Roger Ailes in a reaction to the Nixon being impeached. He was like, we need some right-wing television. We need a way to stop this sort of impeachment from ever happening again. And they just don't tell people the truth.
Yeah.
And when you have people saying Obama's a fucking Muslim, it was born in Nigeria, which is just factually not true.
Yeah, when the starting point is an absolute absurdity. Yeah.
Right. Saying that Obama was the worst president for the economy, and factual falsehood.
Yeah, and also, and when those are out there to discredit the mainstream media, and they include Fox in that, they have to take into account that Fox News has fed this new breed of podcasters and bloggers that are not on the front lines of journalism by any sense of the word. They take, misinformation and just twist it every way they can, and try to present themselves as experts on the subject. And you have people that are sitting at home that don't trust the mainstream media anymore, that trust these podcasters more.
It's the same thing.
They think that they have some sort of better knowledge of it.
Yeah.
Right.
The one thing I say about this. Yeah, go ahead. No, go ahead.
That's why I can't speak for everybody on the left, and I am admittedly I'm not an extreme. There is no extreme leftist. Everyone, when I say, tell me who's the radical left, and they say Rachel Maddow. She's not she's not the radical left.
No.
She's fucking a sober Rhodes Scholar. She's not the radical left. If that's crazy, that
there is a radical left. There are people that go too far and go crazy, but obviously on both sides.
Can you name one? Can you name one by name?
No, of course not, because they're true radicals. No, the true radicals are nuts maniacs that are smashing in windows and it's such a small percentage.
And there's Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
There's actual mainstream people who are fucking freaks on the right.
Oh yeah, the radical mainstream.
And there is no left wing.
Mainstream? No, not at all. Not on TV. Not on TV.
Not in the mainstream.
No,
There's
not at all.
household
Not in the
name
mainstream. I agree.
As a radical left person.
Not at all.
So that's why people on the left shut down. You're going to quote Alex Jones at me, and Ann Coulter and say, "I saw a baby aborted that was crying in the sink, and they killed it with a hammer. I've seen the video." Like that doesn't. There's no talking to that kind of a person. That's why there's division. Division is caused by misinformation being. I'm sorry, fired up.
No, you're right. You're right.
It's not division. It's information facing blind fear because they've been fed lies for 30 years.
Yeah.
Saying there's no climate change because it snowed in New York last week is just pure ignorance.
Yeah. So where do you think this country is going to find the unity it needs to move on? Is it just when this guy gets elected out of office and we slowly rebuild, or
it's going to be
is it going to
terrible.
take some major disaster to pull people together again, or is it just not possible at this point?
I don't think it's possible in my lifetime. I think that the fact that Obama, who was a very inclusive president, a very successful one following Bush's incredible debacle and leaving him with what he left him as far as the economy and unemployment and consumer confidence, et cetera, in the stock market, what Obama inherited was the Great Depression waiting to happen, and he righted that. And somehow the people that were the most vulnerable people who were saved by his correcting the economy think he's a fucking Muslim from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you he's the worst president that ever happened, when in fact he may arguably one of the best. So
yeah, it is. I mean, the misinformation that goes around about his presidency, about a lot of things, unfortunately, really manipulate the opinions of people.
Was he an awesome president? But he's a really like an accessible, funny.
That's why I said this to someone the other day, that you can, even if you want, in your view, somehow to argue that Trump is a better president, you can't say he's a better man than Obama. I don't see how anyone can say that.
You can't say he's a better president. The thing he used to say
Well,
was that made
that's
him a
its
good
own
president,
argument,
like
but
the
I'm
stock
saying
market.
separately than
He
that.
used to argue that the economy and the stock market were why he was a great president, and they're both tanking.
Yeah.
All of his gains are gone. He's done nothing.
Did you hear the new
So
news today too? There was new news today. Hold on.
No, I'm getting
New news. Did you hear that Cohen is now saying that he's not going to testify because because he's been getting threats by Trump and Giuliani. Does he mean what's just been made public, like the things that he's been saying he's taking as threats, or is he getting? Yeah. Would you think he's getting additional threats?
Yeah.
You also got to think that Cohen has more things on tape than just the one tape that he gave out.
Dude, I wouldn't even want to have been friends with Trump in the last 10 years because there's a good chance I'm going to get shot.
Yeah.
What?
About being friends with Trump in the past 5 years?
Yeah, like the last 10 years of being friends with Trump. I wouldn't even want to be any of those people.
Near him, yeah, because
everybody
who's friends with him is corrupt to begin with. He's surrounded himself with the most corrupt people in the world, as if they were handpicked,
Trump
for a corrupt administration.
Or you leave having to hire a defense attorney.
Yeah.
So everybody around him has to hire a defense attorney. So, at any rate,
yeah.
How long does it take to go to law school?
I don't see a way through.
Yeah. I don't know that there is either. I don't know that there is either. I fear that, it takes another disaster for us to come together.
Bernie was a great, pardon this expression, but the great white hope after Obama, because Obama brought out all this incredible racism and division just based on that, which is just a truth. Okay, it just brought racism to the forefront, and then Trump has capitalized on that. But had that not happened, had Bernie been elected, Bernie was a genuine populist.
Yeah.
Trump is not. Trump is a self-serving, megalomaniac. Bernie was an actual populist and not offensive to the people that the birthers and the racists that were offended by just the fact that a black guy was in office, married to his man husband Michelle, who's really a dude, and unbelievable racist shit, right? Bernie stepped in as a Democrat, he could have perhaps bonded the country back together again on this genuine populist agenda, where one single payer health care and taxing the rich more heavily, and things that make the infrastructure and things that make the country better for everybody, every single person that needs help making it better. Not the Koch brothers and the Walton family that owns Walmart, not making it better for them and better for Bill Gates and what's his face that owns Facebook, but making it actually better for people in the Rust Belt, which is called the Rust Belt because that's where manufacturing used to live, and it doesn't live there anymore. And the South, there's real pain in this country, and I really feel for them. It's just so frustrating when you watch them all vote against their own self-interest, and they vote on social issues. They vote against gay marriage, and they vote against transgender people being in the military over the fact that they need health care and they need to have a tax system that benefits them.
Well, Christine, we could talk all day about it because you and I both are just infuriated by what's going on, and I know that for us it's hard to.
I come from nothing.
Yeah.
I come from nothing. I grew up on welfare. My dad was a roofer.
Sure.
He fell off a roof and he didn't break his back, but he hurt his back so he couldn't roof anymore. And my mom had to work 2 jobs, and I have come from welfare and working class Boston. So I wasn't born in a castle on a hill.
Yeah,
and
I know, and I get
identify.
that. I get that criticism from people too sometimes when I make what they would assign. It's a lot of this identity politics and assigning people into a category, which is kind of the definition of prejudice. So I don't know why that's becoming so incredibly popular. Not to mention the name calling that goes with it. But yeah, I get accused of being, if I have a liberal view on something, or even if I have a bad taste in my mouth over something, or disgust, I should say, over something that Trump says, then all of a sudden I'm a socialist, libtard, radical left, snowflake.
That's all tough to put all that on one T-shirt, though.
I know it is, right? But it's getting that. It's getting to be that way. They just have to make obnoxious initials for it and then shorten it to
but that's
the
what you
simplest
say
thing.
when you don't have an intelligent or even arguable comeback to a statement.
Yeah,
Just
but,
you're a fucking you're a gay libtard.
And then I get accused of being
comeback.
a Hollywood liberal. I've never lived in Hollywood my whole life. I'm from North Jersey. I live in Florida. It's the opposite.
I am a Hollywood
small
liberal.
business.
I'm fucking proud of it.
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. I do sometimes argue, and this comes up a lot in this electoral college thing. But and this is no offense to people that want to stay home in their Midwest states and stuff. There's beautiful parts of this country everywhere. There's no doubt, and there's more affordable places to live. But there's a reason why a lot of people move to the coast.
Cheap.
You have to work really hard to live on the coast. It's not easy to live in New York City. It's not easy to live in Los Angeles. You have to work really hard to do that,
Yeah, you do. Or, make sacrifices. I want to also add, I read a stat yesterday that 91% of Americans living in Mexico are there illegally.
Really?
Yeah, they're probably on the run from the government.
Oh, my gosh. Well, the wall and all that business we'll get into another day. We're gonna. I gotta get AJ on here in a little bit. I do want to play a little game with you before you go. And I was gonna get a jingle.
I want to add one thing first.
Go
I
ahead.
want to say it's fucking unacceptable to put pineapple on fucking pizza. Pineapple doesn't belong on pizza.
I would agree with you in the sense that it's not ideal. I wouldn't get that first by any means. I'd get pepperoni mushroom.
Yeah.
If I were ordering a pizza.
Yep.
But
Black
I know.
olives.
Another thing about Christine, by the way, she is a vegan and she has a terrific vegan cooking show on YouTube. Yep, which you've had how many episodes now? 150 or something? 130?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
But my it's at videovegan.com. But even when I ate meat, which I did until I was like 27 or something, pepperoni pizza is nasty. It's a big oil pit.
It does add so much grease and stuff. I mean, I like a thinner pie to begin with, and pepperoni does sometimes. It depends where you're getting it,
I like all the olives.
But you just eat one.
Yeah.
What do you like?
Olives. All of them, green and black.
Oh, yeah.
Just load the pizza up
I like
with them.
olives, too.
I don't like olives on pizza.
Oh, man, it's so good.
I know. Well,
I don't order them on pizza. I'm eating them as I'm talking to you, though. So
Oh, really?
Oh, man.
eating olives.
Send me one.
But yeah,
But not on a pizza.
she does a great. Christine does a great cooking show, and she makes some really good options for vegans. And also, you have your book and the film that you made, "Bathing in the Single Girl," which I know you're super proud of, and it's really funny. And Christine is by far one of my closest friends, and I'm really happy to have you on with me tonight on my first episode. I want to play a little game with you.
Louder, too.
I was going to make a jingle for this, but I ran short on time because I spent the past 2 days shivering to death.
Howard Stern.
Yeah, there was going to be a little jingle for this. Howard obviously is a huge idol of mine. I think, of course. Yep, he is the man.
Mine, too.
Yep. But this is called Have You. So just picture the jingle, right? Like, have you, I know I have you. All right, here we go.
I was dancing.
Okay.
Christina, have you ever all right, so it's just yes or no questions from you.
Yes.
Have you ever
Right.
shoplifted?
Yes.
Have you ever had a one-night stand?
No.
Have you
Hold on. I have to qualify that. There are people that I've had sex with one
No,
time.
that you met him that day.
No, never.
Okay. Have you ever made a sex tape?
No.
Have you ever lied to get a job or a gig?
Fucking yeah.
Have you ever killed an animal besides a bug?
I
Beside
had
a
to kill a
bug?
couple of my dogs.
Well,
I
that
had
doesn't.
to put a couple of my dogs to sleep.
Yeah, that.
I also killed a rabbit.
that
I killed a
counts.
rabbit by accident. I got my dog Dexter's urn today, so that was kind of fresh in my mind.
Yeah, you lost your dog last week. That was,
Should have
Yeah,
thought about this.
on the
often.
3rd actually, and I
Yeah.
picked his ashes up today. I killed a rabbit by accident. My neighbor, when I was like 10 or 11, my neighbor, Italian guy in my neighborhood in Roslindale, which is a neighborhood in Boston, raised rabbits and you could feed them. And I was feeding them in the hutch, and I think I did this. I don't know. I put the hutch. I closed the lid of the hutch, and I went back out front. And he went back in the back, and so he started screaming. And one of the rabbits was hanging dead. His neck had been like his head was above the latch, the door on the hatch, and his body was hanging.
Oh my God!
Presumably because somebody shut the thing while he was trying to jump out. Which I felt like it was me.
How long did you have nightmares over that?
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm bringing it up now. I'm
going
to be 54 next month, and I'm bringing it up now.
I'm going to think about it when I go to bed.
Yeah, I don't know if I did that or not, but I do blame myself for that. But no, I've never killed an animal outside of no.
Besides the bunnies.
Have you ever faked an orgasm? I feel odd even asking you that.
Yeah, I have, but I stopped that before I ended high school.
Okay, fair enough. Have you ever been arrested?
No sense in telling somebody they're doing something right when they're not, right?
Exactly.
Agreed.
Have you ever been arrested?
Go on. Yes.
Have you ever lied about your age?
As an actor, yes. As a human, no.
All right.
As a human.
As a human. Have you ever dined and dashed?
In high school, once or twice, yes.
Okay.
She means last Tuesday.
Have you ever had an unhealthy obsession with someone?
I was obsessed with Jack Black for a long time, but I never got to meet him or anything, so I never got to go anywhere. Yeah. No, it was a really disturbingly intense one, though. But
she's listening to Tenacious D, rocking out at the house.
Really loved Jack Black for a while there. I was really all about fucking Tenacious D. I was all about it. Go on.
I think I know the answer to this one, but have you ever been on a dating app?
No.
Oh, that's what I thought. Have you ever caught an ex cheating?
No, but one told me he cheated after the fact. I mean, like a decade after the fact.
Oh,
I was
wow.
told that I was cheated on a lot. But
were you surprised?
I feared it was going on, but I never caught him. So, yeah, I was surprised. And it was so after the fact, maybe even 20 years after the fact, or at least 10. So why'd you tell? I didn't. I never caught anyone, though.
Have you ever peed your pants as an adult?
Yes.
I'm about to.
Yeah. Have you ever stolen an idea and claimed it as your own?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I had a fake ID out through high school. I didn't steal it.
No, not an ID. Not an ID. An idea. Have you ever stolen an idea?
She admitted to that quickly.
Yeah. An idea and claimed it as your own.
Maybe a joke, but not an idea.
Okay, fair enough.
Me neither. I want you to welcome you to the Joe Davison show.
And this last question is apropos for vegan. Have you ever cleaned a fish?
No.
No, never cleaned a fish.
But I was pescatarian for 30 years, so no, I can't. I went fishing once and I caught a fish and I was devastated and cried. So yeah, I couldn't.
All right. Well, good job. You made it through the whole. You made it through the whole game. Yeah. We didn't have to stop. Oops. We got another news break. What's the news break? What were you saying about?
I had been talking about Singer.
What's this now?
The fact that he just got 5 new charges brought against him for male inappropriate touching and possibly rape.
Who?
Bryan Singer, the director?
Yeah. Well, what the headline says is Singer, director of the Queen movie.
Right.
Him!
Now has 5 new allegations. Just came out like 3 hours ago.
And he also directed The Usual Suspects.
And X-Men. And
that's weird. I wonder if there's a little bit of
with Kevin Spacey. He's been with Kevin Spacey
Kevin Spacey must be on a tear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, it makes sense.
Inappropriate sex.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
I remember I showed you that video from Kevin Spacey a couple weeks ago. That was unbelievable, wasn't it? You saw that, Christine, right? The video that he made from his kitchen, Kevin Spacey.
I don't think so.
Oh man, it was
it's crazy.
So crazy.
He's talking to the camera and he's talking like the guy from House of Cards.
Yeah, he's like channeled.
What it reminded me of was that Bruce Campbell commercial for Allspice.
It was so bizarre.
Allspice. He's like, what?
What's he talking about though? Like, hey, I like to rape 14-year-old boys. What's he saying?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, he was just saying like.
He was doing a bit.
Yeah, he was doing like a bit like about like.
How we want him back as an actor.
Yeah, you knew what was happening or something, and you accepted it.
Watching,
he was like all creepy as hell.
Allegations that ain't true. He was talking with that weird ass accent.
Can you pull that up on that? Yeah, I think I could play it actually.
Hold on. If he wants to get it forgiven and get back in 10 years, he can't do that shit.
10-year forgive. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
You knew I was raping teenage boys, so fuck you.
Right, yeah, like, I don't know what it was. It was just this, him talking to the camera, and he's like, you miss me? You know I've been gone. That kind of thing, with that weird southern accent thing he does.
Ugh,
But
it was
weird.
Stuff.
I think he was trying to build fans or get people on his side, and I don't know what the reaction was to it, but yeah,
sure, they may have tried
Can't
to
be
separate us,
positive.
but what we have is too strong. It's too powerful. I mean, after all,
You know you love my rapey ass.
I told
I'm
you
rapey.
my deepest,
this is it here.
darkest.
This is it here.
I showed you exactly what people are capable of. I shocked you with my honesty, but mostly I challenged you and made you think. And you trusted me, even though you knew you shouldn't.
Whoa. That's intense.
So we're not done, no matter what anyone
This is
says.
dead radio time.
And besides, I know what you want. You want me back.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
insane.
like, what? Where do I want you? No, I don't want you at all.
I don't get
But-
that
I
at
can
all.
tell a sexist joke in the meantime. It helps you.
Go ahead.
Sure.
How do you pick the dumbest 3 women on Earth?
How?
At random.
Ah. All right, Christine, thank you so much for being my first guest on my
Thank you.
first ever episode. It was awesome having you
Congrats
on.
on your first episode.
Thank
awesome
you.
to be here. I hope when you get this thing more polished and you're not sick.
And I'm not dying
you can
of 102 degree
get into
fever.
it. Yeah.
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 Well, thank you so much for being on, and I'll
Love
talk
you.
to you soon. Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.